Language is a structured system of symbols used for communicating meaning. It is both symbolic and arbitrary. So by symbolic we mean that we have created words, we've created clusters of sound to describe objects or persons, places, things, anything that you use to develop words for. It is arbitrary, meaning that generally these words are not directly indicative of the item that we are describing, or there are words that are seemingly randomly assigned to objects. It is governed by rules. Every language has rules regarding pronunciation, the ordering of words, and the particular meanings for each word. There are several definitions offered in your text, and I have chosen to highlight a few. The first of which is onomatopoeia. Now, this is a word formed by imitating the sound associated with its meaning. It's a really fun word to say, onomatopoeia. An example of an onomatopoeia would be buzz, which is an example of trying to describe the sound a bee might make. It's almost a literal word assigned to the sound, buzz or meow. Next is euphemism. This is a vague, mild expression used to symbolize something more blunt or harsh. Essentially, by using a euphemism, we are trying to soften whatever the idea is. An example of this is passed away versus died. It's a lot easier to hear sorry to hear that your family member has passed away rather than I'm sorry your dad died. Both communicating the same message, but the use of a euphemism helps to soften. Next is defamation, and that's language that harms a person's reputation or image. I think we all know what defamation is, but I included it because the next two words are not very common, but they're important, especially in law. The first of which is libel, and this is a defamatory statement made in print or in some other fixed medium. And the next is slander, and this is a defamatory statement made aloud. And so in law, someone could be held as liable for putting something in print that is inaccurate, something perhaps in a newspaper, or writing hateful things about somebody, even on social media such as on Facebook. Slander is specifically saying things that are untrue or defaming one's character with use of language. If you take nothing else from this class, I would like for you to take this, and that is to consider the effect that you wish to create when communicating with others. Now, people will immediately form opinions of you based upon the way that you communicate. I learned this from a college professor a long time ago, that when first meeting someone, that the way that you communicate will speak in volumes. People will immediately form an impression of you based upon your choice of words, your use of slang, your dialect, and any improper speech. Now, whether or not you place value upon your first impression with others is entirely up to you, but this will become especially important when working, when applying for a job, or if you're in a type of work where you're interacting with customers. People will immediately form judgments based upon the way that you communicate. So it's important to acknowledge that, to understand how you communicate, and if it's something you value, how to improve the way that you communicate.